What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Sunday evening live, man. Sunday evening on here with y'all. Glad to be on here with y'all. It's been a really pretty cool weekend, and we wanna end it on a good note. And the best note that I could think of, me personally for myself, is to chop it up with my family, with my YouTube family. I got my regular family and my YouTube family. My regular family, my music family, and my YouTube family. So that's what it's gonna be on this Sunday evening, man. Glad to be here with y'all. I would like for y'all to hit the like button early for your big brother. Anybody who comes in and jumps in the chat, hit the like button early so we can get down to it. Because this topic that I'm gonna cover today is something that I feel needs to be discussed more often, and I think it needs to be discussed more often for historical context, but also just to bring light to something that I feel like is one of the worst things, worst travesty. So hit the like button so we can get into it. And what we talking about, man, we are talking about hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all. They starting early today. But stay on. If I lose my connection, just stay on. Don't log off. But hit the like button for those who just coming in. If my connection dips out, just hang on until it comes back. But we're talking about music thieves, man. We're talking about people who steal music, artists who um, have made a living in some cases by stealing the original work of original artists. And the sad part about it is that a lot of times the original artists who make the music and get their music stolen, they never get the credit for it. And this is a practice that dates back decades and decades and decades. It dates far, far back when black artists were just coming into the industry, well, not just coming into the industry, but just starting to flood the industry a little bit more. And when they would release music on what we know today as independent labels and even on major labels, when they would get deals, then a single would come out and white artists would come along, hear the single, and remake the same song within days or weeks of the release. Now that's something that's kind of unheard of today. People would do remakes, people would do cover songs of certain songs, and but usually cover songs and remakes come out years after the original song drops. They don't A remake don't come out 2 weeks later no more. But back in those days, they would drop a remake of the song almost instantly. And with the black artists not having the promotion and having the marketing, the machine behind them, even if they were on a major label, they didn't have as big a push. Then the cover song and the remake by the white artist would blow up. It would explode and become a super, super big hit and generate a lot of money. And the original artist who recorded the song is standing there left holding the bag, but holding the empty bag, while the other cats walked away with the big bag that was full of the money. Not to mention the fact that the label owners, because what I want y'all to understand is that When I say music thieves are the worst, it's what y'all gotta understand. I'm not just talking about artist to artist. I'm not just talking about one artist stealing the material and stealing the and remaking the song of another artist. I'm talking about label executives who steal master recordings, who steal publishing. That's the biggest form of stealing right there. Because guess what happens when you have an artist who makes a song, releases a song, and then uh, the label owns the rights to the publishing. They make double money now because when somebody comes along and remakes the song, and if the song blows up again or blows up bigger than the first release, they still get publishing off of that. And for those of y'all who don't know what publishing is, that publishing is the royalties that are paid for music when it's played on the radio, when it's heard on TV commercials, and things of that nature in perpetuity, meaning freaking forever. So when you hear a song that came out in 1975 and it was a hit back then, but it's a classic now, so it's always being played somewhere around the world on some radio stations and or on multiple radio stations all over the world, then the money that's generated from those spins on radio, they accumulate, and publishing revenue is generated from that. And it's paid by publishing companies like BMI and ASCAP. It's paid to whoever owns the songwriter's publishing, the rights to the songwriting, or whoever did the production, whoever did the music. So that has always been the best kept secret in music from artists. They're publishing. That's the fight. That's what people like Michael Jackson and Prince and all them and Sam Cooke, that's what they were fighting for. That's what they were trying to get control over, the rights and the ownership to their music, to their master recordings. So those are the biggest thieves in music. Those executives, those record labels, those CEOs, they the biggest thieves, that make no doubt about it, because they make the money all the way around. They make a killing. And I'm gonna get back to them, but I want to talk about artist to artist. Now, me being a rapper, I have a different viewpoint on this than comparing to R&B, comparing to rock and roll, to blues, jazz, and other genres, because rap has always been the kind of sport that we pride ourselves on being original. We pride ourselves on writing our own lyrics. We pride ourselves on whatever comes out of our mouth, it came out of our mind. And for all y'all young people that's out there listening right now, better yet, I'm gonna ask all my old heads who might be in the chat, what what is the definition? What do we call as a rapper when another rapper steals your lyrics? What was that called back in the day? Do anybody know the answer to that question? What do we call that back in the days when a rapper intentionally took the lyrics of somebody else? Miss Lady Sample said plagiarism. That's the technical term. But yeah, but in hood terminology, we call that biting. So Mr. Fairfax and Demetrius Brown and Jimmy Jump biting. they was biters. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you biting my lyrics. Because it's like you just saw what I had over there and you just went and just took a bite out of it. See, because a biter, that's why it's called that. He not gonna take the whole song. He just gonna bite off a little bitty piece of it. So just imagine, you know how it feels when you got some food. Just imagine you had an apple and you couldn't wait to eat this apple. And you had your apple. This was your apple. Then you set it down somewhere and you kind of turned your head. And when you turned your head, somebody ran over, picked it up, and just bit a little piece off of it. Even though it's a little bitty piece, you still gonna be pissed off because you bit my apple. So that's how we always looked at our lyrics, like, dude. And it didn't matter if it was one line, 2 bars, it did not matter. If you took one line from another rapper, that's war. All out war. He coming for you. And just say, like in the mafia world, right? In the world of mafia and organized crime, what's the worst thing that you can be called or referred to or known as in the mafia? I'll let y'all answer that question too. It's a 3-letter word. What's the worst thing you can be called in the mafia? LB done already laid it out. That is. So in rap music, at that time, not so much nowadays, but at that time, being a biter was like the equivalent of being called a rat in the time of organized crime, right? If you was around another group of artists and this other guy was in the room and somebody say, hey man, why don't say your raps around him, man. He be biting. Everybody in the room be like, oh really? Okay. You don't even want to rap around him. It's like being in comedy and you got people who steal jokes. You got joke stealers in comedy. You get up there and do your whole set, and then you look up a month or 2 later, and some cat that was at your show, he had another show, and he's saying your material. So how does that make you feel when you know that you sat down and strained your brain to create this material and it came out good? You knew it was good, only to see somebody else come along and intentionally steal your material. Man, that used to be like fighting. That's a fighting move. Like people ready to fight behind that. Now, this was even before, I'm speaking in my city. I'm speaking in Houston. This was even before a lot of people was getting into the music industry. People weren't even putting out records back then. This is in the street. So the stakes wasn't even as high as they are now, or as they were once everybody started saying, let's put some music out and make records. But we still had the same mindset, like, don't steal my lyrics. And you would become an outcast. It's like you had leprosy if you develop a reputation for biting, for stealing people's lyrics. Nobody wanted to deal with you. And nobody trusted you, because even if you did come up with some original, we don't know if it was original or not, because We don't trust you. It's like, man, you known to steal lyrics. So it's like, even if we hear you say, especially if you say something that's dope, then we like, yeah, that was a hard line. Hold on, wait a minute, man. You sure he wrote that? Y'all y'all ain't heard nobody else say that, huh? So that's the worst label that you could have, is being a thief in this music industry, because the music business is so competitive, right? Meaning that not only are there a lot of artists, period, it's a million. I asked the question the other night. I said, man, how many rappers y'all think it is in the world? And y'all was putting all kind of, y'all putting a million. And so it's already a lot of people in the game. So that alone has what they call it's oversaturated. The game is already oversaturated. It's congested with just artists, period, good and bad. But even if you eliminate the artists who ain't that good, it's still a whole lot of very good artists in the game that you are putting yourself in a pool with and competing with every day. So when you come up with something that's good and that's original, that you worked hard on, that you busted your brain open to try to come up with, and then you know it's good, and then somebody steals it, how do you feel after that? Because they took the easy way out. You worked hard to come up with that, and all they did was wait on you. They just waited on you. See, okay, all right. And that's what they used to do back in the days. Everybody knows who Elvis Presley is, right? I shouldn't have to give any type of biography on who Elvis Presley is. We should all know, because they have exalted Elvis Presley as being the king of rock and roll, and he's not. They've exalted Elvis Presley as being this iconic, great artist, and he's not. But everybody knows who Elvis is, right? But there was a man, a black man, back in the 50s and the 60s. His name was Roy Hamilton. Go look him up. His name was Roy Hamilton. And when I saw Roy Hamilton for the first time, he was performing somewhere in the studio. It looked like he was a studio performing. And he sounded real familiar when I heard him. Sounded just like Elvis Presley. Sounded just like Elvis Presley. But what I later found out was that Roy Hamilton didn't sound like Elvis Presley. Roy Hamilton sounded like Roy Hamilton. Elvis Presley stole his sound and was sounding like Roy. But don't nobody know Roy Hamilton. We all know Elvis. We don't know who Roy Hamilton is. But I want to bring some attention to him now. There was also a man named Jackie Wilson. Now, many of y'all might have heard of Jackie Wilson. Now, I mean, I'm an older dude. I know I'm an older dude. Most of y'all on here younger than me. Even if you in your 40s, you younger than me. But if you're in your 30s, your 20s, then you might not know some of the names that I'm mentioning. But Jackie Wilson was an iconic singer back in the 50s and the 60s. Jackie Wilson was like Like James Brown, Jackie Wilson, they was on that kind of level back then. Like any of the top singers you could think of that's around today, that's top of the top. That's what Jackie Wilson was back in the days. If you ever seen the little mini series about the Jackson Five, right? The American Dream. Who saw American Dream? Just I need to know if y'all saw this before I start getting into the conversation. It came out like in the early 90s. It was like a mini series that they did on the whole Jackson Five from when they were little all the way to when they grew up. Who saw Michael Jackson American Dream? I mean the Jackson's American Dream. Okay, anyway. There was a scene in that miniseries where Michael Jackson, they were just getting started on. I think they was at the Apollo, they was at some show, and Mike was a little bitty boy, and he was backstage. They was going to perform, and Jackie Wilson was on stage. And Mike didn't even want to leave from the side of the stage because he just wanted to see Jackie perform in person. And he was like, his mind was blown. And that's the true story. Mike loved Jackie Wilson, right? But Jackie Wilson was another dude who Elvis Presley just basically stole his whole style in terms of dance moves. Now, I know what some of y'all might be thinking, well, wait a minute, man. Michael Jackson was influenced by Jackie Wilson. He's influenced by James Brown. He did some of the moves. Okay, cool. But Michael Jackson also established a lot of his own moves in terms of like, okay, he could do certain little things like a leg kick or some spin move or something. That's Michael Jackson. But also, musically, Michael Jackson got a lot of original music that he didn't take from nobody. And Michael Jackson, you can't name an artist that he sounds like. Michael Jackson loved James Brown, but did he sound like James Brown? He loved Jackie Wilson, but did he sound like Jackie Wilson? Sound like Michael Jackson. So the difference between being influenced by artists and stealing from that artist, that's two different things. You can't compare them. Because anybody that's doing music was influenced by somebody. It took somebody to make you want to say, man, I want to do that. Man, I love the way he did it. I want to do that. And early on in your career, I give you a pass if you have moments early in your career where you're trying to learn and you trying to learn your own identity, and you might sound like this guy. You might say something this guy said or similar to this guy. I give you a pass early. But you can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15 years in and you still jacking. Can't do that. Because now you trying to hustle. You trying to make a living off of stealing. So Elvis took all Jackie Robinson's moves, but it didn't stop. Because there's a lady that came before Jackie Robinson, that came before Elvis Presley. And her name was Nina McKinney. She go back to the 20s. Nina McKinney, back to the 20s. I wasn't trying to rhyme, but I did. And a lot of them same moves that you saw Elvis was doing, she was doing them. One of Elvis's biggest songs is You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, riding all the time. Guess where he got that song from? That's not an original Elvis Presley song. He didn't make that song. That was a lady. Her name was Big Mama Thornton. Her name was Jazz. You laughing at my singing? You laughing at my singing, Lemon? name was Big Mama Thornton. So Elvis didn't care if he stole from men or women. Long as it was something he could use, and long as they was black. Because he had to look like he had to go where the flavor was at. He had to go where there was some seasoning on the food. So he was a freaking thief. I know what y'all think. Well, Elvis had some original songs. He had some. No, cool. Yeah, most artists are gonna have more original songs than they have songs that they stole. But your foundation is built on thievery. Meanwhile, people like Roy Hamilton, people like Big Mama Thornton, they get lost in history because everybody's building and propping up Elvis. They even went so far to declare this dude the king of rock and roll. See, I'm gonna bust all that up for anybody who might not know. People my age, a lot of people already know what I'm saying. But it might be some people that don't. So Elvis is the king. We holding him up to the moon. He's the king of rock and roll. He's the king of what he stole. He ain't the king of rock and roll. That was another dude, and I really don't like this dude I'm about to talk about now. I really don't like this dude at all. He's still alive. This dude I'm finna tell y'all about now, he's still alive. One of the biggest, most notorious music thieves of all time. I'm going back in history. His name is Pat Boone. Hold on. I didn't have to type Elvis' name in. Y'all know who this is. His name is Pat Boone. And the reason why I don't like Pat Boone, even to this day, is because we all heard of Little Richard, right? I know for some of y'all like, why you talking about all this old school stuff? I'm laying down a principle that y'all gotta understand because this still applies today, man. But just in a different way. It's just remixed. But you know who Little Richard is, right? Wop, bop, 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 boom, tutti frutti. Y'all know who Little Richard is, right? This dude, Pat Boone, reached a point in his career. That's right, Little Richard is the real king. Him or Chuck Berry are the real kings of rock and roll. Make no mistake about it. Do your history. But Pat Boone reached a point in his career where he would just lay back like this and just wait on Little Richard to put music out. And Little Richard would be minding his business, making his songs, making his hits, putting his songs out. And in a week or two after Little Richard would release a song, Pat Boone would go in the studio and remake the song and put it out and go platinum. Now, if you ever want to get a good laugh, if there's ever a time where you feeling down and you depressed, you ain't in the best mood, things ain't going right for you at the time, if you ever want to get a good laugh and get cheered up, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go on YouTube and I want you to pull up Little Richard. Song called Tutti Frutti. And just listen to Little, you gotta listen to Little Richard first so you can get the laugh. Listen to Little Richard's version, the Tutti Frutti. And what's the other song? Not Good Golly Miss Molly. He might have did that one too. But go listen to the Tutti Frutti song, the Wop Babaloo Bop song, listen to Little Richard's version first, and then go listen to Pat Boone's version. And I promise you, you're gonna laugh. If you don't laugh, I will give you your money back, and you ain't even gave me no money. Because it's so trash. The remake is so trash. It's so bland. It's so dry. It's like eating food with no seasoning in it. It's like some fried chicken that just ain't got no kick to it, no seasoning in it. Just meat, just regular fried chicken. Just ain't got no kind of pop to it at all. But you gotta listen to Little Richard first. Listen to Little Richard first, then go listen to Pat Boone. This is an example of how arrogant these cats are, because they feel like they can actually pull it off. What makes you think that you can sing a Little Richard song? You can barely sing your own songs. So he on a Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy, a Tutti Frutti. That's how he sing the song. A Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy, a Tutti Frutti. That's how he's singing it. But he knew that with the record label behind him and the machine behind him and the promotion and the marketing and the radio play, he knew he was going to get those spins. And he knew that the white audience was going to listen to it and think that it sounded good. And he would do that to Little Richard over and over again. I could see you making one of my songs, man. All right, man. You made one of my songs. All right, cool. All right. Then I come back out again and you do that one. Then I come back out again and you do that one. So you ain't even trying to have your own originality no more. You just waiting on me. Now, as a real artist, bro, that would piss off any real artist, man. Because I'm working hard to do this. And not only are you stealing it, you're not even upgrading it. I can see, look, I've seen an artist remake another artist's song, do a cover of the song, and the artists who do the cover sound better than the original. I've seen that a bunch of times. I respect the original. But if somebody come out and smash that original, I gotta give it, oh yeah, he killed that. Or if he was right there with it, cool. Remakes are part of R&B and rock and roll and jazz and blues. That's cool. Not so much in rap. There's been a few, but not so much in rap. But don't remake my song, then mess it up. Especially when in the 50s and the 60s, the artist did not own the master or the publishing. So it'd be one thing if Pat Boone remakes a Little Richard song, but Little Richard owns the publishing, and Little Richard can at least say, okay, well, yeah, go on, sell 1 million. Go on, get all this radio play, because it ain't gonna make me some money. I can at least understand that. But the way the record labels was raping the artists back in the days like that, and still to this day, they just stole your work and you don't get nothing out of it. That's why I rock with Sam Cooke the way I do. One of the reasons. Because Sam Cooke was ahead of the game. Sam Cooke was one of the first black artists, if not the first black artist, to have his own publishing company. And that's part of why I believe they killed Sam Cooke, right? Because And I told this story before to y'all, but some of y'all didn't hear it. Bobby Womack, Johnny Taylor, all of the old school blues artists that we know today and R&B artists we know today, they all came up under Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke had his own publishing company. Bobby Womack used to be in a group with his brothers called the Valentinos. This was back in the 60s. Bobby Womack and his brothers, they wrote a song called It's All Over Now. One of the early songs called It's All Over Now is the Valentinos. And the Rolling Stones remade the song. They followed the same script that Pat Boone and all them cats and Elvis followed. They took the song that the Valentinos did and they remade the song. Bobby Womack was mad. He went to Sam Cooke like, man, they stole our song. Blah, blah, blah. Bobby Womack was hot. Sam was like, don't even worry about it. Let them have it. And we hope to sell 1 million records because we own the publishing. See, that's the difference. So, but if you're not getting that money, if you're not owning the publishing, you're not getting that money when they steal your song. They just stole your song. And you talk about the racial climate that existed in the 50s and the 60s. They didn't care about black folks nowhere. They was already stealing from royalties to masters to publishing anyway. That's why a lot of our artists died broke. So we got to understand it ain't nothing to feel honored about because this dude remade my song. Nah, not if he gonna remake my song and he gonna make the money and the label gonna make the money and I ain't gonna make no money. I ain't honored that you remade my song. Give me my money. Or don't touch my music. And if I got enough money, I don't even want you to do my song. You might look at it as a business decision and say, okay, well, you know what, he gonna do it. I'm gonna make money off of it. But if money ain't an issue for me, don't even touch my song if you can't do it no justice. See what y'all talking about, man. Been running my mouth long enough. Let me go back into time real quick. Vashetta Entertainment, I appreciate the love, man. That's right, y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button and support the channel. If you haven't clicked the like button yet, click the like button. What's up, Box? Phantom Face Final. I hate a plagiarist, so you're going to pay for this. You couldn't serve me at a table of capable, couldn't serve me with a table of, I said it wrong. That's my own line. I couldn't say it right. Capable waitresses. See, ghostwriting is different. Ghostwriting is an artist agreeing to say, okay, I'm going to write for this other artist. I'm going to create this for them. I'm going to help them put this together. That's a different ball game compared to you have no talent and you being opportunistic. You being an opportunist. You're not even trying. Then you're going to single out a particular artist. So yeah, I can get him. And the sad part about it was that back in them days, a black artist couldn't even speak out about it. I couldn't even speak out. I couldn't even tell. I had to act like I was cool with it in the 50s, in the 60s. I got to act like it's no big deal. Well, you know, Elvis is a great artist. You know, I'm just honored that he would acknowledge my music. I ain't. Stealing, man. Stole them. You know, let me keep reading y'all comments, man. We're going to stay on topic, y'all. I'm not answering any questions that's not on subject of what we're talking about tonight. Mimi said, worst part is Elvis' family getting paid from that movie. Elvis, see, that's what I'm saying, because They was taken care of. That's why the Elvis Presley estate, who his family, they set forever. They set forever. Crystal says, lying that you originated something that you copied is dishonest, but you can't actually own information. And see, look, Mr. Barefact, it's hard to believe that rock and roll was called N-word music. Yeah, it was called that until white artists started to get involved and benefit from it as well. Then it's like, oh, okay. Just like rap. Just like rap music. Same thing. Nothing worse than a music thief. So to go back to the biggest thieves, and that's the record executives, the people who putting the music out, the people who are drawing up the contract, they the worst because they stealing it all. They're not stealing songs, they're stealing catalogs. That's the difference. They stealing whole catalogs. That's why. See, y'all gotta understand how deep in this goes, man. That's why people was mad. That's why they were mad at Michael Jackson when he bought the Beatles catalog. When he went up and bought back Little Richard's catalog and gave it to him. They didn't like that. Because they don't want this N-word owning what they believe the music of their iconic artists. They didn't like that. Billions of dollars generated. You can be inspired by somebody, man. Don't get it twisted. All of us have favorite artists. All of us have people we look to get motivated. Man, I want to get motivated to work on some new stuff. I want to spark my brain cells without having to smoke some weed. So I'm gonna listen to an artist that inspires me, and that's gonna motivate me. It's gonna ignite my brain waves. That's different. You may write a song that was influenced by another song. That's different because it ain't sounding like that song. But that song made you write your song. That's different. But you're gonna take the whole song because you have no talent. If you have no talent as an artist, hey man, go get behind the camera or something. Go be a producer or something. Stealing all this work, man. Then they die broke. James Brown was never supposed to die broke. Jackie Wilson was never supposed to die broke. Artists from the 30s and the 40s was never supposed to die broke. And later on, Elvis did work and did songs with Roy Hamilton and all that. That ain't helping me none. If I'm Roy, Roy probably was like, yeah, okay, I'll get down with you. Because you Elvis. Try to see if I can get me some crumbs out the pot. Get on TV and tell everybody you stole your style from me and that, hey, y'all need to go support his album. Sometimes it ain't about somebody giving you nothing but a cosign. Sometimes all it takes is a cosign. Meaning, hey man, look, if somebody that's up there and they know you, they know about you, they know that they was inspired, that they pulled from you, stole from you, whatever, just give me a cosign. When you get your Grammy Award, when you step on the stage with your award, show you my award I won last night, y'all. Hold on. Since we talking about awards, I won an award last night, man, and I was really grateful for it. Down for the Underground Awards. I received this last night. Won Artist of the Year. I think I won Artist of the Year. But when you stand up there and get your Grammy, knowing that you stole your whole style, the least you could do is say, well, because some of them heathens, they don't even thank God when they win their Grammy. I watched that. They got the black artists not thanking God no more. The black artists get up there and, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody, man. The producer, man, I appreciate you for making that beat. I want to thank all my hoes out there, man, for standing by me, baby girl. I love you. I want to thank my pill man. Appreciate you, man. Get on the stage and say, hey, man, there's an artist that really inspired me to do a lot of what I do. His name is Phantom Face Final. Phantom Face Final, man. I've been listening to his music for years. Y'all might not know about him, but he's a big inspiration to me. Y'all should go listen to him, man, and support his music, man. And if you do that on the Grammys, you'll blow the dude up overnight. Shout out to my homie Critical, man, and Street 100, The Heat, The Critical Show, for putting together this award ceremony last night. I'm giving my acceptance speech for the second time. And I do thank God for my blessings, for my awards. Y'all might say, well, they ain't like it's a Grammy. It's better than a Grammy. What y'all talking about? And I just brought that out to make an example. I wasn't trying to like show off or nothing like that. But y'all know me, so y'all know I don't get down like that. But Shutter Entertainment, appreciate the love once again, my brother. And WBM, appreciate that. Thank you for the donation, man. Or woman. I don't know if WBM is male or female, but appreciate the love. I've had people that have jacked my style, man. And they don't give credit. That's the word. See, what's worse? The actual act of somebody stealing from you or not giving you credit after the fact. I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to give you credit knowing that they stole it from you. Yeah, if I break in your house and steal your TV, then somebody come to my house and say, man, that's a nice TV you got. I'm not gonna say, yeah, man, I gotta give credit to the guy whose house I broke in, man. He really picked out a nice TV for me to steal, man. I gotta give him his props on that, man. So I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't give credit because it would expose them. Man, you got a nice car. Yeah, man. I can't take credit for this car. I got to shout out to the dude I caught slipping that day, man. If he would have never pulled up to the store and left his keys in the ignition, I would never had this car, man. So much love to you, bro, wherever you are, man. Good looking out. Much love, man. See my boy JD up in here. Yeah, the stealing itself got to be the worst because that's the act. That's the horrible act. How can you steal someone's work, their life work? See, that's an act of desperation. People so desperate to get there, man. They desperate for that attention. You ever seen somebody? This is in the context, maybe not as major, but in the context. You know people who like to photobomb all the time? They like to jump in pictures that they're not supposed to be in. Or if somebody's taking a picture of you and a friend of yours, y'all posing for a picture at the club or something, but it's always a cat that just happened to be behind. He just happened to be standing behind y'all taking a picture. And when you see the picture later on, y'all standing there posing, but some dude y'all don't even know, he in the back like, he looking right in the camera, knowing good and well, that's not his picture. Jump right in the pose, jump right in and pose. Or people that they off camera and they see you getting ready. It could be friends of yours. They see you getting ready to take a picture with somebody else, or you might be getting ready to take one by yourself, and they come running, hold up, and they photobomb. I ain't talking about when it's cool to do that. I ain't talking about like a group picture, like, hey man, everybody, come on, y'all, come on. And say, hold on, let me get it. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about somebody that knows that, okay, well, you know, then you have to tell them, well, hold on, watch out, man. It's just gonna be me and him, or him and her. You sit this one out. And they be feeling some kind of way because they desperate for that attention. And the envious nature kicks in. It's like they don't want you to have nothing to yourself. You might just want to take a picture. They got a backdrop. You at an event, they got a nice backdrop. Oh man, that's live how they got this set up. Is it okay that I can take a picture? They say, yeah, we can take a picture of you. And you standing there, you just want to get that shot. You just want it to be just you. And then here come your friend. How much jump in? Okay, cool. Okay, let me get you. No, we gonna get it. They don't want you to have nothing to yourself. But Shelter says, but what can be put more in the contracts? Well, what can be put into the contract? See, this is what we got to understand. Minister Farrakhan's words come into my mind when you ask that question. And what he said was to always negotiate from a position of strength. Don't negotiate from a position of weakness, meaning that even if I'm coming to you to try to get a deal from your label, I'm not coming in weak. I'm not coming in soft and scared to express my points, to say what it is I want. I'm coming in from a position of strength. I'm telling you what I want you to do for me. I'm telling you what I'm not going to accept, what I am going to accept. I'm laying out the stipulations, even if I want the deal. And some people say, well, man, you're going to talk yourself right out of the deal. I might. But if talking myself out of the deal because it didn't feel comfortable, the stipulations wasn't something that I felt like was going to work for me, then did I really talk myself out of a deal, or did I talk myself out of a potential bad deal? Because I settled. Now, it's a line between settling and compromising. It's not the same thing. Settling and compromising are not the same thing. So in a negotiation, there will be or could be points of compromise that have to be reached, that you have to come to terms where you say, well, you know what, okay, I wanted $1 million up front, but he's offering 850 up front, 850,000 up front. He won't budge off that 850. I want that $1 million. You might say, okay, all right, I'll do the 850. Because I'm not going to let the 150 be the difference between me not getting the 850. Now, if I ask for $1 million and I know my worth of asking for $1 million, and I have other things in place to justify why I should get the $1 million, and then I slide that in front of him, and then he turn around and say, oh, man, $1 million, look, we'll give you 30,000. The drop off is too low. It's too strong. That's no longer a compromise. Now I'm getting raped. I'm settling. I'm desperate. I'm a dope fiend now. I'm getting treated like a dope fiend. So I can compromise with you within reason. See? I can compromise, but I can't settle. Settling means I lost. Okay, I guess I'll take the 30. And him and his partner gonna look at each other like, oh yeah, we can do, or we gonna control him. If you ain't bold enough to be willing to walk away from the whole deal, if you ain't bold enough to do that, then they're gonna put it in you. They're gonna bend you over and put it in you. Plain and simple. Mimi say pawn shop mentality. Yeah, you got to negotiate. You have to negotiate, not negotiate. You in there like a Negro. I mean, okay, well, I guess if that's all you got, boss. If that's all you got, boss, I guess I'll take it. Your head ain't mentioned. You just scratching. All right, well, I guess it's better than nothing. Is it? Phantom Face say, still in my moment. Yeah, it's still your moment. Do y'all remember when? I remember when this actually happened, but y'all may have saw the movie to know the story about this. In the Straight Outta Compton movie, when Ice Cube discovered that the Jewish guy Jerry Heller was stealing their money, he wasn't giving them what they should get, the whole group. So Cube came to him and was like, hey man, we need to talk about this bread. Because Ice Cube was not only writing his own lyrics on the project, he was also writing Eazy-E's lyrics. So he should have had like a double portion of publishing coming, right? He figured it out that, hey man, this dude ain't paying us what we supposed to be getting. And he came later, meaning Jerry Heller, the Jewish guy, he came later with new contracts and advances of $75,000 each for each member of the group. And everybody signed to get the $75,000. They signed a new contract. Everybody signed except Ice Cube. Now, Ice Cube could have settled, because here's the deal. At that time, he wasn't sitting on no whole lot of money. He needed money. That's why he was coming to the dude in the first place. Like, dude, what's up with my bread? So the natural thought, or I won't say the natural thought, the typical thought for a person who ain't got no money will see that 75,000 and be like, man, this 75,000. I could use that. Because when you don't have that kind of money, you don't realize that that's really not a lot of money at all. And you don't think about what the person who gave you the 75, you're not thinking about what they made. You're not thinking about what the big label made. They made millions off of y'all, and all you can offer me is 75,000. But they understand, oh, these ain't never had no money like that. They gonna jump right on that. So they wanted Cube to settle. Cube turned the money down. The other guys took the money. Cube proved to be the smarter one in the end because he broke loose and started fresh, started over, had his business mind together, and boom. And other guys came back later like, man, Cube, you was right. We wish we'd have did what you did. Because they settled. And this ain't like a settlement where you get money to, okay, well, you got in a car wreck. You got hurt on the job. And sometimes that don't even work out. Okay, well, he got a $4.2 million settlement. Okay, that's just the terminology settlement. Okay, he got 4.2, but even that. Because when you get a loss, when you get an injury or something like that, you have an injury, you split that 3 ways. It's you, the lawyer, and the doctor. So a lot of times you ain't getting much out of that. You can't be in desperation mode, even when you're in desperation mode. Now I get it, understand sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it ain't my place to talk money out of your pocket. If you feel, hey, man, that's what I got to do. Look, don't listen to me then. I'm just saying if you playing the long game, and the long game means that, okay, the short game is this. I can take this 75,000 today, and then I can sign this contract to do 3 more albums with y'all that's going to generate $50 million. And now 3 years later, I'm looking around and I'll sign for $75,000. And that's 75 been gone. I guarantee you, see, when you struggling trying to come up and you ain't really got much, if you get $75,000 at one time, it's not gonna make it through the year. It's not gonna make it probably a few months. And if you dealing with somebody that's ignorant, that money gonna be gone off the muscle because he finna go get a chain. Or he gonna go buy a car and spend the majority of the money on a car. He not at least gonna say, well, man, this ain't a lot of money. Let me try to meet with somebody and consult with somebody that can probably give me some advice on how to turn even a small amount like 75,000 into something greater, or advise me on what I shouldn't do with this money. Don't run out and start just flinging money around. Because by the time that 3rd album come around, they might throw you little bones around along the way. You go on tour, but you're not gonna make what you should have made. They will string you along forever. Stealing. Who saw the New Edition movie? Who saw the New Edition movie? Anybody who saw the New Edition movie, them dudes went on a whole tour, had a hit album with a bunch of hit singles coming off that album, right? And this dude walked into their house in the presence of all of their mothers sitting in that one apartment building after putting out a hit record and going on a successful multi-city tour, and that dude walked in that house. This is based on true events. Jewish guy, and handed each one of those boys a check for $1.87. Not making this up. He gave each one of them a check. How many was the new edition? Let me sing the song. It was Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and Ralph. That's 5 members of a group. Somebody pull out a calculator and multiply $1.87 times 5. What is $1.87 times 5? Please, somebody do the math on that real quick and put it in the chat for your big brother. WBM, they went home to the projects. They pulled up in a tour bus and got dropped off in the projects after coming off tour. People screaming and hollering and selling out stadiums. What's, yeah, 187, that's murder. $9.35 to split between. So you telling me that all that we generated with a gold, I don't know if that album went gold or platinum, but I don't care if it sold 50,000. I know it sold more than that. That our cut only comes out to be $9.35, that we got to split 5 ways, and we just came off tour. And anybody that knows the music industry, the old rule back in the days when it comes to doing tours and show money is your money. They should at least came home with some money from the shows. This was in the 80s, bro. This was in the 80s when this happened. But the nerve that the dude had, it's no way I could have walked in people's house and handed them a check for $1.87. I don't know, man, these people gonna kill you. But that's like, I'm gonna tell you what that's the equivalent of, right? I would rather you not give me nothing. It's a big slap in the face to give me a check for $1.87. That's a bigger slap in the face compared to not giving me nothing. I'd rather you just not give me nothing. How many times have y'all had something to eat or something to drink in the refrigerator and somebody come along and eat up or drink up the majority of what you had in that refrigerator, and they just leave a little bit? They leave a little bit of juice. They just left a little bitty corner. You had 8 pieces of chicken in the refrigerator put up. They ate all of them and left one little half a little wing. That makes you more mad than if they would have just ate all of it, because you insulted my intelligence. When you just leave a little bit, you insulted my intelligence. That's what makes me mad, because now you saying that I'm gonna be dumb enough to think that, oh well, he did. I still have a little. I still have this much. I'm not gonna drink it all. I'll let him see. I didn't drink it all. You still got some juice. That's what makes you mad, because you think I'm stupid. So you lay out all these things, these expenses. That's how they get you. Well, the tour bus, we had to go to all these cities. That was $25,000. Well, the studio that y'all recorded in the hotel rooms y'all stayed in when we were on tour, that costed. You got the equipment guy, you got wardrobe, you got food. They start adding all that stuff up. They knew they was gonna do it all along. Had to pay our guys, and of course, the label gets this percentage, and when it came out, this is what y'all had. Y'all ready to go back in studio? Them people got some nerve, man. Hit that like button, man. Give me to 100 likes before I burn out. Y'all drop y'all locations, man. Drop your locations. Drop your locations. Let me know where y'all at so I can shout y'all out. But hit the like button, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 100 likes. Can we get to 100? We got Antigua, man. We got the West Indies up in this thing. Mimi in Melbourne, Australia. JD, Fort Worth. JD, man. JD been in 3 cities in 2 nights. Humble, Texas in this thing. Colorado. I see you, Jay Boozy. That's right. The Caribbean up in this thing, man. Phantom Face in Columbus. JG in Austin. Angel in H-Town. Orange, Texas up in this thing. 614 Columbus. G County, dollar. I can't wait to put my hoodie on, man. Y'all gonna buy these comic book hoodies when y'all see them. Y'all think I'm playing. God Machina in H-Town. Rashada, you on a Greyhound? Headed out of town on that Greyhound. Arizona, New Jersey in the building. What's up, Sean? 3 ball out there in Dallas. West Belford, 6400. Nashville, I see you 7. That's right, Jay Boozy, the comic book hoodies, man. Picture the comic book cover in the hoodie form. It's going to be right on time for the cold weather. Some of y'all already getting the cold. We live in H-Town, so we're going to be wearing hoodies just to be showing them off. But it will get cold out here at some point. Y'all remember we had the freeze out here in Texas. We don't want to relive that no more. What's the new Twitter? I'm still on the old Twitter. I know Elon got Twitter. He turning it upside down. WBM in Orlando. The press box in East Texas. That's right, Michelle. Y'all hit that like button, man. And y'all go subscribe to the Underground Dialogue podcast. I ain't gonna get off y'all head about that. Look, man, next episode of the podcast is coming out. ESG, the legend. Y'all don't want to miss that ESG episode. I promise you. Y'all do not want to miss it. Where my people in Canada at, man? Is that Nurmac Black Hawaii up in this thing? I see you, Nurmac. DeAndre out there in Sydney. Go subscribe to the Underground Dialogue podcast. Watch all of the episodes, man. Nope, it ain't on Spotify. It ain't on no Rumble. It's right here on YouTube. Cavalian is right on YouTube. Senegal up in this thing. New Jersey. Troy Scott, New Jersey. You ain't got to do all that extra stuff. Just go straight, just Underground Dialogue podcast and just start watching. You ain't got to do no extra stuff. Seven more likes will get us to 100. 7 more likes will get us to 100. I thought Napster was like dead. What happened? They reinvented themselves or something? Appreciate that, Jay Boozy. 6 more likes. 6 more likes, 6 more likes. Can I get 6? Can I get 6? Can I get 6? We at 94. Can I get 6? I start talking like an auctioneer up in this thing. 94 likes, 94 likes. Need 6 more. Need 6 more. Then I got to watch the interview. He talk about everything. He talk about all that. 2 more likes, 2 more likes. 98, 98, 98. Can I get 99? Can I get 99? 99 likes. I can't talk fast like them dudes. Had a beautiful toy giveaway yesterday, y'all. I want to shout out to my homie JD and everybody that came through South Park Coalition, man. Point Blank, Rapper K, Klondike Cat, Murder One, Father Time, Decipher, SPC2G, Big Worm. Who else came through? Who else was out there with us yesterday? I don't want to forget nobody. K Water, my brother. K Water and his K daughters. Bing, bing, bing. We over 100 likes, man. See, y'all knew y'all could do. Y'all be holding likes, man. Y'all be trying to hold likes like it's money. Y'all don't be wanting to come out them likes. Learn your history, man, and you'll see why the industry is like it is. And if you are an artist, man, learn the business. Do the best you can to learn the business so you won't fall into that category of people who had their music stolen. You learn early. See, resist the devil and he will flee from you. When you know the business, when you know your worth and you know how to come in, negotiate from a point of strength, they recognize your terminology, they recognize your language and your conversation immediately, and they back off you when they trying to mess over you. All they got to do is hear you talk. Because they'll come at you slick, like, oh man, I'm interested, man. I want to get you on my label, want to sign, want to all that old fast fly talking. But the minute you start expressing yourself in an intelligent way that they know, oh, well, this dude, he not dumb. You probably ain't gonna hear from them no more. I've seen it, I've done it. Okay, well, we'll sit down, man, and discuss the business, man. And I can tell you what it is I'm looking for. They don't like me to say that. They think that they are gonna trick you into giving you what they feel like you should get. If you come at them and say, okay, we'll sit down and meet, and I'll tell you what it is that I'm interested in and that I'm looking for. They'll be like, what you looking for? That's all you gotta say. And as a rapper, don't be somebody that be, man, be original, man. There's too many artists out here that already sound the same. So even if you're not stealing words, the exact words, you're stealing styles and lingos and things like that. I know it's tough out here, man. I know it's hard. It's competitive. But the mind is infinite. The mind is infinite. You want to get the most out of yourself that you can. Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's dinner time, y'all. Time to eat. What y'all eating tonight, man? Real quick before I go, drop down. Let me know what y'all eating tonight. I'm just curious. What y'all eating tonight? Oh, JD, what kind of ribs, man? Don't say no pork ribs, man. Come on, we got to get you out that pig, man. I hope you ain't on that pig. Don't say it. Say it ain't so. Okay, beef. I got you. I got you. Barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. That's what's up. I don't eat none of the stuff y'all naming, but as long as it ain't pork. Berries in a tuna sandwich. Okay, Dark Passenger. What y'all eating, man? No, you eating your own mom. Let me see. Salmon and bean pies. That ain't bad. That ain't a bad selection. You for real, Lance? Should invited your boy over. Beef stew, the crock pot cooking right now. Ooh, them crock pots, man. Take too long. Put some of that crock pot, boy. You cooking all day. Like, mama, when it's gonna be ready? It's noon. When it's gonna be ready? About 7. Like, God. Wings. Dollar bill. I'm gonna try to get you. We linking up Tuesday. I don't want to get a bean pie today and then hold it to Tuesday. I want you to get it when it's fresh out the box. I got to figure that out. I'm going to try to coordinate that. Got to get up early, set it, and forget it. Oh man. I guess if I know I'm not going to eat till later, which I don't. What part of Canada are you in? Is that Bill? What part of Canada are you in? I'm coming to Canada, man. The date is set. I will be in Toronto, Canada, February the 2nd. So anybody that's in Canada, that's close by, I know Canada's huge. I can't just say if you way in the northern part to drive to Toronto, but I'll be in Toronto February the 2nd. Lemon, no. I will be in Toronto. I'll be gone about 4 months. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna be gone 4 months, man. But I will be in Toronto, Canada, February the 2nd, y'all. So we're gonna set some stuff up. We're shooting a video out there. We may we may perform while we out there, and the meet and greet. If we can get enough of our people that rock with me to come down. How far are you from Canada, Bill? In Newfoundland? Oh man. Everybody that's in Canada that's close to Toronto, or even if you might be beneath the border, you can drive up from somewhere in the States that's close by. Y'all come on through, man, and kick it with your boy. I have locations and addresses and all that leading up to it, but it's not going to be till early February, y'all, so still close to 2 months away. But I's coming. I'm coming. All right, y'all, it's time to eat, man. Catch y'all later on, man. Blessings.